Hi guys, this is part 2, take 100 of, I'm not sure how many series we're going to be doing or how long this lasts before it fades. But we're reviewing the girl that's doing a root canal, and she posted her review on Google and what all of our patients go back and look at in terms of critiquing the work that we do. And I thought that I had 2 incidents this week. One was an actual patient that had a problem with his root canal and then his wife's root canal. And then Stacy, she had a problem with the TV. So how do we link the problem with the TV and the problem with the root canal? The simple thing is, both processes are in essence consumerism type of situations. Patient comes in for a root canal, she gets quoted for a root canal, she pays for the root canal, she gets a root canal, and she expects a certain guarantee. Stacy went to an unmentioned source, purchased the TV, and took delivery, used it, and expects a certain lifespan for it. And the point of this whole thing is that, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit recently, and I think I managed to try and break it down into this little condensed 5-minute video that I'm going to go on for, is that we've become so in tuned to attaching lifespans to everything that we buy. And yes, everything that's man-made, including your root canal, has a lifespan. Except when we look at accepting treatment plans specifically, it should be based on science rather than a perceived lifespan or a preferred treatment option by the said clinician. So you buy a cell phone, and if the cell phone has to break after a year, the first thing is, let's take it back and get it replaced, repaired. It's under warranty. The cell phone breaks after 2.5 years. Oh shoot, I gotta get a new phone because these things only last 2 years. Stacy bought a television, and that bombed out just before the 1-year guarantee. And she was like, score, I'm gonna get a new TV or I'm gonna get it replaced. Long story short, she's having a bit of a shit show with the people. But anyway, needless to say, you buy a vehicle brand new and the car bombs out on you after 3 years, it's under warranty, we're safe. After 5.5 years, the car's old, we gotta change it. And I think the simple thing is here, we kind of in tuned into this 1-year guarantee, 2-year guarantee, 5-year guarantee. If anything lasts you beyond 5 years, it's a bonus and really a good product. Unfortunately, we can't be equating the same thing to dentistry, because a clinician that offers you or suggests a treatment plan for you should be based on science. And pure literature in terms of success versus failure is really should be looking at 10 to 20 years type of studies. And that's regardless of the type of treatment. There's obviously exclusions to the rule, but I think specifically to root canals, there's a success rate of close to 98%, if not 99%. And the criteria for those type of situations are also quite strict in terms of the type of tooth, the type of infection, the amount of tooth material that's been left behind. And what's happening often is that patients are obviously being told, you need a root canal, and patients ask how much does it cost, and it costs a certain amount. How long would it last me? Well, the studies show there's a 98% success rate. I think the pertinent question is, on what recall basis is 98%? The other part that's quite important is that a successful root canal is not just the root canal or the procedure itself that's regarded as a success. It's both the root canal itself as well as the restoration that goes on that tooth. So most of the studies that show high success rates for root canals are based on there being some sort of indirect restoration. For example, a crown that's on that tooth afterwards. So a crown in simple terms would be something like this. There's a healthy tooth, there's a cap that's cemented onto the tooth. It's a crown. So people always say that my tooth broke because I'm not a candidate for root canals, or all my root canal teeth break, so maybe my teeth are brittle. Yes, you've removed the nerve and the blood supply to the tooth. In the process of doing all of this, there's been a fair amount of destruction of that tooth structure. So that tooth structure needs to be consolidated. And what's interesting is that the studies that show where there hasn't been a crown on a root canal, that success actually drops down to close to the 80%. So patients are being told that successful root canals will give you a 10-year lifespan 99% of the time. However, they're not being advised on getting the crown that goes with it. And I think it's about making educated decisions. I'm not sure why, and I'm not going to speculate why the situation does occur, but financially, I think if a patient thought that a root canal that's going to cost them, for example, 6,000 Rand is going to give their tooth a 10-year lifespan, they're going to go for it, if they can afford it, obviously. But if they were told that a crown that goes with their root canal may double the price or triple the price to give them a 10-year lifespan, the decision may become slightly different. Or I think they just appreciate the honesty behind it. So I think before we're being told, or before you as a patient are told, you need a root canal, ask the question, is there enough tooth structure to sustain this tooth? Is there enough tooth structure to give me longevity that the research says it will give me? And if it's not, how do I go about doing it? Because if you look at the bigger picture, what's the alternative to a root canal? If you have to extract a tooth, you're going to get a dental implant or a bridge. So if you're a 35-year-old patient and needed a root canal, and that tooth is only going to last you 5 years, that means at 40 you're going to have to get an implant or a bridge. Getting that implant done at 35, that may give you a longer lifespan or more predictable lifespan, may serve you in better stead. And I think financially you're paying for one treatment as opposed to having a tooth that's going to last you 5 years. I think if you are a 15-year-old that needs a root canal, then you obviously want to try and preserve that tooth for as long as possible, because you're still growing and developing. And then up until that you're old enough and your growth and development has ceased or slowed down, then you can get an implant done. And I think one patient that I saw earlier this week, like, I enjoyed interacting with him and his wife specifically for this purpose, that I think he's had a root canal done previously and the tooth broke, had it extracted. He's had another root canal done and the tooth has broken now, and he's asked me, do I need a crown on this? And I'm thinking, unfortunately, you need that tooth to be extracted because there isn't enough tooth structure on that to give you longevity. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much sums up what I wanted to say in terms of accepting treatment plans, specifically with root canals, and how we need to look at things in a more broader sense, as opposed to just feeding off one specific positive value that leads to the bias of success without fully understanding the repercussions of this in terms of your specific clinical situation. Yeah, so we can get back to the video and see what she has to say.